Yo, what's up guys, it's Melontosh here, and I am back for week 2 of the GPC, and we're going up against TurboBlaze and his Phoenix Midnight. 3, 2, 1, yo, what's up guys, it's Melontosh here, and I am back for my team. 3, 2, 1, yo, what's up guys, it's Melontosh here, and I am back for my team building for week 2 of the GPC as we team build for Turbo and his Phoenix Midnight. Now, last week we came off against an unfortunate loss against Zazo and the Detroit Butterfrees. Even though it was a big loss on the 4-0, I felt like I kind of held my own. I made some very questionable plays, not going to lie. But hopefully we can sort that out this week and we pick up a W, because there's a massive difference between going 1-on-1 and 0-2, and I really want to go 1-on-1. And I also think this is one of our better matchups, so I think this is a game that I really have to win. So, let's go over my opponent's team first. He's got the Xerxes Tree, the Chiron Black, the Mew, the Crocodile, the Delmise, the Houndoom, the Gorbis, the Lucario, the Coughing, and the Floette. So, I really, to be honest, I'm not a big fan of his team. I'm not the biggest fan of his team. No offense, Turbo. The scary thing is that he seems to be really comfortable with these mons, and he used them really well in his week 1 match, and he is joint first on the leaderboard right now. He got a 4-0 win over Dom, and we all know that Dom's no slouch, so that is definitely a big win, and he's very clearly, you know, like I said, he can use these mons. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of his team, that's why he's picked the team and not me. So the reason I have a problem with his team is that it's basically hyper offense, and he doesn't have loads and loads of speed, and he doesn't have webs or really strong priority. His only real priority are Sucker Punch, Omega Houndoom, and the Lucario. So I'm going to plan to try and take advantage of that this game. However, the team of 10 I can bring, if you guys don't know already, is the Clefable, the Mega Sizzle, the Salamancer, the Slowbro, the Heatran, the Amoonguss, the Skuntank, the X-Cloud, the Rhydon, and the Manectric. So, building this team, the first thing I saw when I thought of this team is I thought that just Scarf Ments just literally runs house on my opponent's team. So I decided to build a team around that. I also very much considered having Scarfed X-Cloud again, because he doesn't really have a good switch into X-Cloud at all. I've got Scrappy for the Delmise, and other than that, he doesn't have a normal resist other than Lucario. So there we go. And yeah, that was basically the idea with the team. So let's go with the team I did bring. I've got the Diggersby switch in, which is my Salamence, Choice Scarf, Moxie, of course, Outrage, Earthquake, Dragon Claw, and Aqua Tail. I don't really need much coverage. Dragon Claw, Dragon and Earth coverage basically smacks everything. Earthquake for the extra Dragon Claw for the Current Black. Mew does get hit, and I could have Shadow Claw, but it doesn't do that much, and I'd rather have Outrage for the extra power if it's a late game sweep. Then we've got Crocodile, he gets hit by Aqua Tail, but Dragon Claw and Earthquake is still going to hurt unless he brings a defensive set, but that's much easier for me to deal with. Then Delmise just doesn't take me on very well at all. Houndoom, Earthquake, and Dragon Claw are going to do a butt ton. Gorbis actually lives a +1 Dragon Claw, which is unfortunate. It's actually got reasonable bulk, and that's unfortunate for me. It can counter back with an Ice Beam. However, if it's late game, depending on the situation, I may just have to stay in and Dragon Claw him, because I can't allow him to get up a Shell Smash. But Scarf Ments does actually outspeed a +2 Gorbis, which is amazing. That's absolutely amazing. Lucario gets smacked by Earthquake, and Coughing actually take me on really well, but it's just not reliable because it doesn't have reliable recovery. And Floette, it actually could be a problem, but I mean, I've got so many answers for Floette, it's unreal, so I'm not too worried. The 6 I'm expecting to bring is Xerxes, Current Black, Mew, Crocodile, Delmise, and Houndoom probably. Lucario can definitely come, and Gorbis can definitely come as well, and Coughing I can come with maybe a rest set to help with my Salamence, but again I could be special. There we go. I could be a Draco D-Dance, so I get the Moxie boost, then D-Dance and win. So I wouldn't say Coughing's a very reliable check at all, but it is something he could bring, for sure. I think if he brings Xerxes, it's going to be either Scarfed or Z Hypnosis or Z Electric Terrain, because both of those increases speed, which means that he can definitely sweep me. He can definitely sweep me. But my answer for the Xerxes is going to be this Fungi, the Amoonguss, with Black Sludge, Regenerated, Spore, Clear, Smog, Giga Drain, and Protect. I'm actually going to change Protect because I can't allow him to get up a free Tail Glow, because he can then save his Xerxes and really hurt me. If he gets up a free Tail Glow, he can go for the Hidden Power Ice, and also he could bring his safety goggles, and that's very scary, so I kind of have to go for Clear Smog. And I'm telling you right now, I really nearly brought Resto Chesto, because then if he puts me to sleep with the hypnosis, I get woken up anyway, and that's amazing, because if I go to sleep, it can be problematic. I can just come in with Scarfment and Revenge, but it can be problematic because you can then just break through my Amoonguss by going for a Tail Glow if he has Thunderbolt, Hinbar, Ice, Tail Glow, and the Electric Train or the Hypnosis, or maybe not, maybe he's going to be Safety Goggles and have Volt Switch. That could be kind of bad, so I'm probably going to get rid of Protect for Synthesis, or I don't know, maybe Foul Play. I will have a look before the match, but I don't think I need Protect. I may decide to keep Protect, you never know. But I'm max Special Defense, and I literally take on Zextree really, really well. Unless he gets a Tail Glow up, that's scary, but of course I've got the Clear Smog there. So if he wants to try and set up on me, I'm just going to click Clear Smog. I'm probably going to try and leave with my Amoonguss, because I only really need Amoonguss for the Zergstree. If he doesn't bring the Zergstree, I can use it very, very freely, which is really nice for me. The other problem with Amoonguss is that it is set up fodder for the Houndoom. It is set up fodder for the Houndoom. So if he goes to the Volt Switch and switches into Houndoom, that could be troublesome. However, first turn, if he Volt Switches and switches into Houndoom, he shouldn't do that, because I could be sporing. And if I spore and put that Houndoom to sleep, that's not good for him. So I imagine he's going to go into something else. And then next time I can click Spore, because hopefully I'll be able to get an idea of what kind of item that Zergstree is. That's the general plan with that. Kyron B is actually really hard for me to deal with, but Scarf Ments can outspeed it with Dragon Claw, and of course, as you can see, I've got Scarf Forge with the Heat Tram with Flash Fire, which makes his Houndoom think twice about going for that Fire type move, because he really doesn't want to. He doesn't switch into Fire type moves well, other than Houndoom with Flash Fire before it Mega Evolves, and Houndoom takes a Fire Blast okay, but not great. Really not great at all. Nothing else on the team really takes it well. Mew can take it kind of well, and could be a switch in. However, if he's specially defensive Mew, then Salamence is looking really cool to sweep. Salamence is looking just fantastic to sweep, because Crook can't really switch into me too many times if it's defensive. So especially defensive Mew would be ideal for me in this situation. However, there's something that my team really does struggle with, and that is a Taunt Stormbreaker Mew, because it can actually switch into my Amoonguss. It can't switch in because of Spore, but you know, if another mon is asleep, it can switch in with Spore, and I can't do anything. He can threaten me out with Psychic. He can taunt me if he leads with his Mew, so I can't Spore him. He can taunt my Slowbro as well, but as you can see here, I've got Bridget over here, which obviously the reason I've got the Mental Herb on Bridget, Mental Herb means that if I get taunted, I can get away with it, and I understand that it's probably not the best item to have on my Bridget, but because it's not the best item to have on my Bridget, I don't think he's going to be expecting it, and I really, really, really have to get a Toxic off on that Mew. That is absolutely vital. So I can't actually just switch Clefable straight in, because if he goes for the taunt and breaks my Mental Herb, he can just go for another taunt, and then I'm done to Alfonso, because I really need to Toxic that Mew. If I can Toxic that Mew, then this game is looking really, really good in my hands. And like I said, I do like my matchup this game. It's not massively in my favor, but I think it's slightly in my favor, and I like that. So my spread with my Clefable is very simply 252 in HP, 252 in defense, and Calm Nature. This means that I can take a Gunk Shot from full from a Mew. It also means that I can take a Sludge Bomb and Sludge Wave from a Mew, which is fantastic. So then I can get that Toxic off, and if I get Toxic off, we're all good to go, and Clefable's job is done. However, if he doesn't bring a Mew, which is 0 chance, or if he brings like a Volt Switching Mew to try and pivot around my defensive mons, maybe with Volt Switch, Flamethrower, Psychic, and Shadow Ball, something like that, just to get rid of all my stuff, because that would even hit the, I mean, the only thing that would stop it is Skuntank, and he's got to be kind of worried about Skuntank, but he could have Wisp for the Skuntank, then Pursuit's not going to be doing a lot, you know, so Wisp is very, very dangerous. He could have, I can't really switch in my Edward into him, because he can Will-O-Wisp me, outspeed me, Will-O-Wisp me, or taunt me, but good thing is he can't really switch into my Scizor, and I can be able to click U-turn, which is like, nice. So that's basically the Bridget set. Mental Herb, I need to get Toxic off on that Mew. That's humongous. If I get Toxic off on that Mew, the match becomes a lot easier. If I don't get Toxic on that Mew, if I make a bad play and he makes a good play, predicts my Clefable and goes for a taunt, as I switch in, it's bad news bears. It is bad news bears. So next up is going to be my Edward the Scizor. This thing is max defense. It means if Kyron Black is scarfed, or maybe even Specs, I can take that thing on reasonably well. Bullet Punch does about half to it. I really can't let it get a massive switch in. To be honest, like I can't allow it to switch around freely on me. He should be a little bit scared of going for the Dragon type move, because I've got my Clefable, which could be a reasonable check to it. Between Clefable and Scizor, they should be able to check them reasonably well, but like I said, I'll probably be switching in Scizor more likely, just because I need Clefable to toxic the Mew. Unless the Mew is toxic, then I'll happily risk my Clefable, as I really don't think he's bringing Heal Bell Moo. He doesn't have the move slots for it, in my opinion anyway. So Edward can basically U-turn on his team superpower, because like his only resistance to superpower is his immunity is coughing, Mew, and his immunity in Dhelmise. So I don't think he's bringing coughing, and of course Floette, but you know, it hits it will hit Xurkitree really hard, it will hit Lucario hard, it will hit Kyron Black, it will hit the Houndoom, and it will hit the Crocodile really hard, all of them. So it's a very good middle ground play to go for. And he doesn't really want to be switching in Mew on me, because I can go for a U-turn and do a lot of damage. And Dhelmise, if he does switch it in on me, I can U-turn afterwards and get initiative. I can go into my Slowbro. He can't do a lot to my Slowbro. I can even go into my Heatran. If he switches it in, I get the initiative. I'm going to Fire Blast, and something's going to be taking a lot of damage. If he switches in the Mew, then I get information on the Mew, which is absolutely vital for me. So that is basically the team, except for I forgot to mention Slowbro. So Slowbro over here is Cobble Berry, Regenerator, Scald, Thunderwave, Psychic, and Slack Off. So I've got 252 HP, 252 in defense, and I should be 248. That was silly of me. 248 and 8 hit. And 252 in defense. So that means that I can switch in to Crocodile really easily. I don't think he's going to predict me to go into Slowbro and go for the knockoff. And then I can take the knockoff afterwards, fire back a Scald. If I can also take a +2 Dark Pulse if I'm at full from Houndoom, and I can Thunder Wave it, which is amazing, because Houndoom is actually a massive threat to my team, especially if it gets to +2, it just destroys me. But I've got Scarf Salamence and Scarf Heatran, which both outspeed, but other than that, it will literally take my whole entire soul, which is not great for me, but it's definitely something I can deal with. And the Cold Berry really helps with Lucario as well. It means I can switch into Lucario, take a Crunch, go for a Thunder Wave, or Scald even, and get the burn. Thunder Wave, the best thing is Thunder Wave, if say I'm in against something like the, I don't know, I know, say I'm forcing a switch out, like maybe he's Choice Scarf Crook going for Earthquake. I can fire for Thunder Wave because, well, no, that's a bad example. Let's say he's, I don't know, Choice Scarf, Kyron Black going for Dragon Claw. I can eat those up. I can go for the Thunder Wave because there's no way he's going to switch in the Crook against me. The only thing I do have to watch out for is in case he wants to switch his Mew in on my Slowbro, because I really do not want Mew getting burned or paralyzed. So it may be that I actually go for a Psychic. The good thing... Okay, sorry about that, guys. Someone came in and interrupted, and I completely forgot where I was. I was talking about Kyron Black. Yeah, say if he goes for... I can just go for a Thunder Wave 3, really. He's not going to switch in his... Crocodile or the Houndoom, the Crocodile, because that's where I was. I already repeated that. I may just end up going for a Psychic in case he wants to switch in his Mew. He's not going to switch in his Crocodile or his Houndoom because they don't want to take a Scald. And that means if I go for a Psychic, he's not going to get burnt, and that means hopefully I can maybe pivot around and get that Toxic off on the Mew. If I've got the Toxic off on the Mew, I can freely fire off Thunder Waves, or I can freely fire off Scalds, which his team doesn't really appreciate. If you look at this team, I mean, he may want to switch in his Xurkitree, but Scalds, like, he doesn't want that thing getting worn down. If he gets something worn down and he's Sugar Berry, it's game over, and it's very, well, not game over, but you know what I mean. He doesn't want it getting worn down, because then it can't take a hit. It won't be able to take a Bullet Punch from my Sizzle, or maybe one hit from my Slowbro. I can just Giga Drain him, and that's fantastic for me. So that is basically the team. I get Gorbis again. Salamence outspeeds, and I'm just gonna try and not let it get a free Bullet Punch off. I mean, the thing is Sizzle actually does, once he's at, if he goes to -2, which he needs to outspeed my Ments, if he goes -2 defense, Bullet Punch with Sizzle does so much. So I'm not too worried about Gorbis. It could sweep me. It could sweep me if I let it set up, but my plan is to not let it set up. So there we go. And if he leads with that, I'm going to lead with my Moongus. If he leads with Xurkitree, that's fine. If he leads with Kyron Black, I believe I should be able to take any one hit unless he's Choice Band Outrage. But that means, I mean, yeah, that's why I have Protect as well. So I'm probably going to keep Protect. I remember that now. So that's nice for me. If he leaves with Mew, that's fine. I'm going to go for a Spore, basically. And then if he goes to a Taunt, I can then switch to my Clefable and hopefully get Toxic off. If he leaves with Kyria, the Crocodile, I can just go for a Giga Drain and get some damage off. and if he's banded, I live the hit and I can get regen back. If he leads with Delmise, I beat that thing. If he leads with the Houndoom, then gonna be honest, puts me in a sticky situation. I think I'm gonna calculate this right now, actually. Damage calculator, because that's a good point. Damage calculator. I think I can take a Fire Blast, and I know I don't want to get too weakened down for the Xerxtree, but I should be able to pivot my Amoonguss back up to health. Amoonguss. Oh, I didn't have my custom set anymore. Okay, that's fine. 252. 252. Houndoom. Houndoomeroonie. Fire Blast is not going to kill me. And if you're modest, which I don't think you should be, but you could be, I live that anyway, so I can just go for a Spore. I know it does a lot, and I'm risking a crit, but I can't let that thing set up a nasty plot for free. I can't, and it's not like I can switch in my my Salamence. So I just go for a Spore. If he goes for a nasty plot, then that's good news for me. I could probably go into my I mean, if he wakes up first turn, we'll see. Probably have to go into Slowbro, because he's not going to fire for. He could fire for Dark Pulse, but and I can scold. If he risks it, then he risks it, and maybe he wakes up, but. I can't really risk him waking up first time. I go out into my Forge. That's what I do. Yeah. I go out into Forge, and I just go for an Earth Power. So yeah, that's that lead. If he leads with Gorbis, he leads with Spore. If he leads with Lucario, I can live anyone hit Spore, and that is basically it. So I think I'm gonna leave with my Amoonguss, and that is gonna be it. The match should be up tomorrow, so make sure you're there to go and check it out. But that's gonna be all for me today, guys. If you guys did enjoy today's video, please leave a like rating down below. If you think we're gonna win, let me know in the comment section down below as well. But other than that, I'll smell you later.